So you've probably heard that back on Thursday, the developers of Helldivers 2 dropped a massive bomb that everyone who has a Steam account, you're going to have to now link it to a PlayStation account. And the issue here for that is that not everyone has access to that, and a lot of people who didn't read the TOS didn't even know that this was a requirement to actually do this. So it's kind of just something that sprung on people that was always there, but it's something brand new now. Before we get too far into it, I want to just say I'm a complete noob. I am someone who's never played Helldivers 2, but I'm a massive fan of streamers and people who are in the community, and was a fan of the company until they did this. Now, why is this an issue for a lot of people? Well, Sony doesn't have necessarily the best reputation of keeping that information secure. They get hacked a lot. Also, why should I have to create an account for a game that's on Steam for PlayStation Network? Now, yes, people say Sea of Thieves, you gotta do that. Well, okay, that's Sea of Thieves. They made you do that at the very beginning, but now you're making us do this now. Yes, I get your explanation that you had some connectivity issues at the beginning of the launch of Helldivers 2, but this is probably the worst way you go about explaining to your community, like, hey, we have this thing going on with Sony. We don't really like it, but hey, Sony's making us do this, so we have to go ahead and set up the account so that your Steam account is going to be linked to the PlayStation Network, just so we can have the safety and security that's going on here. Now, when you read this safety and security line, I immediately think back to Palpatine and all the, take away your freedom just a little bit, just for some more safety, and if you do so, you lose both. I'm just saying here, this isn't necessarily that dramatic, but it kind of gives you the vibe of it, that why did you put this out in a post? Like, this is something that I feel like should have had like a video behind it. The developers come out like, hey guys, just letting you know, there's going to be a massive change coming here pretty soon. We get that some of you don't like it, but this is what we have in our agreement with Sony. This is what's required of us as a company. So we hope that you will continue playing our game. But if you don't, we understand it. And we hope that you have enjoyed your time with Helldivers 2. That was the proper way to do this. But instead, what they did is they just went ahead and made this a post on Steam. And as you can tell, there are not going to be a lot of people who are happy me reading the TOS document now. Like, what the heck, my man? Sony just blasting the Helldivers 2 game. Yeah, a lot of people are not happy about it. Although there are some people who try and defend it. Like, at no point is anywhere where it says you'll be banned from it. Yeah, dude, right here where it says Steam will be required to connect their Steam accounts to the PlayStation Network to play. So that's pretty much a banning right there. Yeah, it's been a good time playing. Just a lot of people who don't have necessarily the best thoughts of what's going on here. And if we go to Steam itself, if we go out of here, you can already see this was positive. This had a mostly to overwhelmingly positive review yesterday, and now only 33% of the reviews are positive. So a lot of people are having just negative feelings towards what Sony is doing here. As you can see, there's nothing. Oh, there are just a few flippers to the PSN changes for PS players, or will be okay there. Yeah, so they're trying to throw some positivity out there, but a lot of people are just not happy with what Sony is doing here, and the Arrowhead team people at it. Now, is this necessarily something that Arrowhead wanted to do? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, they did come out and post a link that if you have any complaints or any concerns, to go ahead and put this on to the PlayStation Network. But if you go on and click this link, what you're going to find is that you have to set up an actual PlayStation account just to report your concerns and disgruntled opinions about what's going on here, kind of defeating the whole point of like, hey, I don't want to link my Steam account to this. I don't want to create a PSN account. Like, why do I have to do this? It just makes no sense. So I understand where people's frustration is coming from here, and I personally agree with it. Like, yes, okay, maybe it was in the TOS, and maybe we should have read through it, but who do you really know that reads through the TOS before they go play a game? Like, I'm going to be honest here, I rarely ever do. I usually look at the game. Is it fun? Is it great? If I enjoy it, okay, great. I'm just going to click through that TOS and go. Now, does that fault me as a player? Yes, I'll fully admit, as a legal standpoint, that is my fault. I should read through that more. But if the game looks fun, I hear a lot of great reviews, I'm just going ahead and play. And now I'm hearing that I had to do something extra for the first time. This could have been handled way better by the developers than what they did, and it's kind of their fault. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can really do from what I've heard, and I haven't really checked this out too much myself, but apparently Steam isn't really allowing anybody to refund their games, except for maybe a couple of scenarios. Maybe they are, but from my understanding, from how Steam handles it for refunds, that if you play 2 hours less of any game, then they'll issue a refund. Or like Cyberpunk 2077, where the game is just complete trash, then they'll do refunds that are mandatory. Everyone gets the game back. But as far as I know from this situation, there hasn't been really any issues, so I don't know if Steam is actually going to allow mass refunds for this game for people who are like, okay, this wasn't what I signed up for, I don't want to do this, I'm now leaving the game. I highly doubt that, but we'll see what Steam does in the next couple days. Also, the fact that they dropped this on like the weekdays before the weekend, hoping that this disappears. Do they not realize that their players are on the internet? The weekend does not matter. You are not a standard company. Your players are going to be here all the way through the weekend, and they will be here Monday morning. So, yeah, I don't really understand their thought process behind that, because this definitely isn't going to go away anytime soon. What can we do? Well, there are three things that I think that will happen here. Either A, and I really think this is an unlikely one, but either people will just completely stop playing this game and they'll just do a revolt, and Helldivers PC side of the PC side of the game is just going to completely die. Don't think that's going to happen. Two, you have a bunch of people who at the very beginning just boycott the game right at the start and will not sign up for the PSN account. I don't really think that one's going to happen. That's not likely, but that might happen. Or three, and this is the most likely scenario, people will boycott for a little bit, but give it a week or two, and people come back and start playing once they set up their PSN account. I hate to say it, but that's really what people are going to do here. We're creatures of habit. If we really enjoy a game, we're just going to go like, okay, fine, it's just 5 minutes setup. We're just going to create this account. Now I can get back to Helldivers 2. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there are people that will actually stay and fight this. I mean, if we're just going off by what Steam has here, which is the massive negative reviews, maybe there's some hope that a lot of people will just be like, no, I'm not going to play this game anymore. I don't want to connect my Steam account to PlayStation because you guys get hacked all the time. I don't trust you. But I'm just saying, just from what I've seen, that's probably the most likely scenario, is that people gripe, people grumble, but eventually people are going to come back to it. I hate to say it, but that's what my thoughts are. But you guys, what do you think? Do you think that people will stick with it and stick with the boycott after this takes in effect? Do you think the Helldivers team will backtrack and be like, hey, we've been negotiating with Sony, they're allowing us to cut ties with this part, and we can just let the game play off of their network? I'm curious to see what you guys got to say. Leave your comments down below, leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you later. Bye.